Hello everybody and welcome again to lyranara.com as well as lyranara.me, the place where you can find the most powerful holistic health tools as well as natural supplements to take care of yourself. And today we have a very interesting subject again for you. It's about a total holistic treatment concept that involves technology called biofeedback, and we're gonna talk about how you get sick, what a holistic treatment concept should consist of, and then we're gonna present to you three extremely powerful devices that will help you take care of your patients as well as taking care of yourself at home with one of the devices holistically. And without further ado, let's dive right in and learn more about biofeedback, total treatment concept, and please stick around until the end of the presentation because we have a surprise for you. First, how do we get sick in the first place? Well, we need to have a so-called basic system. So we need to be basic in our bodies, and if this basic system is disturbed, life is not possible, we become diseased. If we have a balanced basal system, we stay healthy. And unfortunately, we are bombarded every day by a lot of negative factors such as VOCs, detergents, impregnated clothes, electrosmog and geopathic burdens. We have stress, we have psychological traumatic events, we drink polluted water, we have atmospheric pollutants, allergens, toxic medications, food that is riddled with pesticides, herbicides, etc. We have noise pollution, we lack sleep, we are overexerted and lead a sedentary lifestyle. And therefore all of these deficiencies in essential nutrients lead to symptoms, and then of course these symptoms, if they are not addressed on time, they develop further into chronic and acute diseases. And diseases, they develop in three main phases. First, the epigenetic environment gets disturbed, so our genes can be switched on and off, as Dr. Lipton found out. That's what's called epigenetics. And when we are burdened with all of the factors that we've discussed, then our epigenetic environment changes and the genes switch themselves on and off in an undesirable fashion. And then we see changes in our ANS, autonomic nervous system, as well as in our hormonal system. That is the second phase. And if we don't take care of this unbalanced systems, then after about 3 years, those diseases, they become chronic. So after knowing this, what should be a total holistic treatment concept? What should it consist of? And first, any good therapy must deal with the root causes and not only alleviate the symptoms, what modern medicine does very often. It just takes care of the symptoms. So if you have a headache, you take an aspirin, but the cause of the headache is not being addressed. So we have to address the root causes. And yet, in case of patients with chronic complaints, allergies, or metabolic disorders, traditional doctors in traditional medicine soon reach their limits. So it must be understood that due to the complexity of our physiology, to deal with a chronic condition, you have to develop a total holistic treatment concept that addresses all levels. And the causes must be, of course, found and treated on the energetic, the cellular, as well as the epigenetic level. So the body must go into a healthy state, which implies a well-functioning auto-regulation. Chronic illnesses, acute infections, or pain mostly occur when the organism has lost its capacity to self-regulate, and modern biofeedback devices that we're going to talk about are directly geared to the patient's reactive capacity, metabolic and stress situation. And chronic diseases may present focal symptoms, but the pathology is disturbed throughout the whole body, which is also called a matrix. Mostly the connective tissue matrix, And with a traditional medical treatment, the matrix becomes more dysfunctional when sedating symptoms, for example, with pharmaceutical drugs, more interferences with the patient's biofield introduce additional biofield disturbances instead of curing them. And the root causes, even more importantly, are not eliminated. So therefore, a successful treatment of chronic diseases requires a holistic restoration of the matrix to full competence, and therefore all its functions must be addressed and restored. Biofeedback, or so-called rebalancing technology, is an all-encompassing assessment and treatment modality that utilizes the patient's own ultrafine electromagnetic oscillations. This method had its inception in 1977 already in Germany and has been developed greatly since then. And the pathological biofield information is collected from the body using different electrodes to measure the skin galvanic response. And this is directly linked to the autonomous nervous system, which is the control center of all of your inner organs and their functions. So biofeedback works great to treat a disease holistically, to address it on all levels. And there is a protocol which should be followed to have the best success possible. First, you should detox the body of the patient or your own body if you're taking care of yourself. So that means eliminating stressors and electromagnetic disturbances. Every good therapy must start with a thorough detox to eliminate the detrimental interfering frequencies, and here we will recommend to you Med Matrix, which we will present to you a little bit later on in more detail. Then after you've detoxed your body, which should be the start of any holistic treatment concept, you should determine the cellular damages. So after the detox, you can read the body's frequencies again with biofeedback devices that we're going to present to you, and use the biofeedback principles to reverse the cellular damages. And here we will recommend to you the Med Select system, which we also going to present to you in a little bit more detail later on. Then after you've determined and taken care of the cellular damages, you should train the autonomic nervous system. So that means balancing the sympathetic and the parasympathetic activity and trigger autoregulation and the self-healing potential that we all have in us. And here we're going to recommend to you the Kindling Easy system and talk a little bit more about it in detail, of course, as well. And last but not least, any good therapy should be also accompanied by lifestyle changes to eliminate the epigenetic stresses. So to enhance the healing process and make it permanent, you have to take care, for example, of your diet, deal with your own emotions, habits, attitudes, as well as correct subliminal sabotage programs by changing your beliefs. And before we dive right into the 3 amazing devices that will help you develop this holistic treatment concept, let's talk a little bit about how biofeedback therapy works in general. First of all, biofeedback therapy has no risks, no side effects, as it works with your own body frequencies that are collected during the scan. So biofeedback follows recognized principles of physics, wherein a frequency can be cancelled out or neutralized with its inverted counterpart, as you can also see here in the graph on the left. And when you scan for pathogenic and healthy frequencies, you store them in the device's memory, and in the second step, these vibrations are filtered using electronic bandpaths of different kinds, and they are split into pathogenic and healthy frequencies. And then, in a third step, the pathogenic frequencies, which are out of phase, are inverted and fed back to the patient together with the healthy frequencies, triggering thus the autoregulation processes of self-healing. And this is the basic biofeedback therapy principle that works great and has worked great for over 40 years already. The main question is, of course, what causes pathogenic frequencies? And the answer is all epigenetic stressors, microbes, toxins, which electromagnetically disturb the body's own biofield and thus stop the free life energy flow, which is also called ki or prana, and as well as the cellular communication that causes it. So, as we've discussed already, every good holistic treatment concept must start with a good detox. And the most advanced and efficient detoxification system in the world is the so-called Med Matrix system. And if you use the Med Matrix 4 to 6 times before you start any other treatment, addressing any other specific conditions, 80% of the healing process is already done. Med Matrix uses a unique combination of bioresonance, which is the European term for biofeedback, petechial suction massage, and DC current therapy, which combined lead to truly amazing results. And we're going to look also at some testimonials from some doctors that prove it very well. Med Matrix regeneration therapy is a modern and very efficient form of treating chronic degenerative diseases, such as the elimination of acidosis and of acidic cellular waste stored in your connective tissue. It's good for immune system modulation, overall and in-depth detoxification of the matrix and of your inner organs, and neutralization of disturbed out-of-phase electromagnetic fields. And the features of the Med Matrix system are beyond what is today known as state-of-the-art detoxification, as it combines biofeedback supportive therapy programs in a very, very unique way that you will find nowhere else on the market. And this is why it works so great. What are the main features of the system? Well, first of all, it works with a so-called rhythmical direct current DC therapy, which actively mobilizes the toxins and waste products through electrical repolarization so that your metabolism is stimulated to return to its normal function. Then, as you can see also in the picture on the left, it uses so-called petechial massage, which is an advanced form of cupping. So the suction electrode produces local suction in the tissue, which transports the waste products and the toxins from the deep tissue up to the surface, from where it can leave the organism. And the tissue is also smooth, and any reddening which appears during the treatment will vanish quickly, so no worries. This is part of the procedure and very normal that you will get, as you can see also in the picture, a slight reddening of the skin. This is actually a good sign. Then it also has what is called a system information therapy, which neutralizes the negative oscillations. So information signals and magnetic fields mobilize the process of self-healing and provide relief to the immune system, and the suction electrode picks up the released toxin information and passes it on to the electronic control unit for processing, and these pathological frequency patterns are then converted into therapeutic information signals and sent back to the patient by means of resonance effects, and they trigger the self-healing powers, and the healing process is thereby initiated. So only after successful Med Matrix therapy can you start applying successfully other holistic procedures for harmonious autoregulation and a perfect homeostasis. And we have, of course, received many testimonials over the years from doctors that use this system. And I've picked up only 3 randomly here. First up is Dr. Mary Staggs from Malaga, Spain, and she talks here about the Med Matrix system. How easy is this? She starts off, even at 80 years old, I can use this incredible tool in my clinic. Stimulating and detoxifying at the same time, extremely important in all therapies. The SI cards, so effective for the patient to carry out with them and continue their therapy. So yeah, you can impregnate a card with the healing frequencies, and the patient can wear this card on him, so the healing process is enhanced even when he's not in your practice and continues. So easy and without side effects, great with children and pets. My patients also save money as they don't have to continually travel to me for the therapy, and for those who live many miles away, it is a real blessing, she says. Next up, we received a testimonial from a detox center And here Dr. Radoslav Toshkov had the following to say about the MedMatrix as well as the MedSelect system. Working with MedMatrix and MedSelect devices is really easy and effective. These have been used in our daily practice for more than 5 years. We are impressed with their good quality and team support. The main benefits came from doing specific time-saving measurements and making effective individual therapy. MedSelect and MedMatrix provide 2 times faster recovery and health improvement without complications. Profound resonance frequencies of organs and cellular structures are applied. There are 13 integrated supportive programs. And he has even a patient case that he describes here. A 7-year-old Caucasian boy came with a 2-year history of nasal obstruction, dry cough, and snoring. His past medical history includes frequent bacterial throat infections. He had strong family history of adenoidal hypertrophy. Physical examination was within normal limits, and he was treated with nasal decongestants and antibiotics. The therapy with the MedSelect was initiated, 3 procedures for 2 weeks, and 2 days after the first procedure, the symptoms aggravated. Viscous nasal secretion and sore throat appeared. After the second procedure, though, the nasal breathing was recovered and the patient's condition was improved fast and without any complications. And Dr. P. Molyneux from Germany had the following to say about his MedMatrix experiences. All tested detox therapies were not sufficient for purging the toxins from the depth of the body in a time meaningful for the patient's conditions, and the MedMatrix therapy came into the clinic as a gift, because especially in allergy cases or injuries of young athletes, we could reduce the therapy time by 2 to 3 weeks. And he has also a case, 45-year-old female after operation of lung tumor, post-traumatic on painkillers, here diclofenac and some daily morphine over 6 months. Their mood changed into a permanent depression as well. He applied a biofeedback therapy, 3 to 4 sessions with a MedMatrix over the scar and reflex zones on the back with a protocol of physiological structure. And the pain treatment was reduced to once a week with diclofenac, and after 7 sessions only, the client was pain-free. Also, her mood changed into joy again, and the client went back to work and can live without painkillers. Then he has an example of a child that was 6 years old, a male, after vaccination with against hepatitis and DPT. He had always headaches, and after eating fatty or sweet food, especially the test showed an intolerance to wheat and sugar and a reaction to some vaccines, and a MedMatrix therapy supporting the metabolism organs, and by inverting the problems of the food allergens and vaccines. Only in 2 sessions the boy had no more pain, and after 4 weeks they couldn't find any food intolerance anymore. So yeah, now we've taken care of the detoxification, deep detoxification with the MedMatrix system. As you can see, extremely successful, provenly so. What next? Next, we should trigger the auto-regulation of your body. And here we have another great system that we can wholeheartedly recommend to you. So once you've detoxified a body, you need to correct and train the cellular physiological programs which are stored and controlled by your autonomic nervous system. And one of the best systems, biofeedback therapy devices known worldwide and unique in its features, is the so-called Kindling Easy system. It's an exceptional trainer of your autonomic nervous system. It triggers a systemic functional balance between sympathetic and the parasympathetic nerves. It's self-calibrating, fully automated in its dynamic diagnostics and bioresonance therapy. It is worldwide unique and easy to use, and therefore we also recommend this system not only for doctors and professionals but also for home use, as it is truly a one-button operation that you will understand very easily, and of course again no side effects or risk with this kind of therapy. What are the main features of the Kindling Easy system? Well, Your diagnosis, therapy, and the remedies can be individually tailored to your needs. It's very handy and uses a very easy to understand scanning technique. So it's a hand-to-hand skin conductivity measurement. Measurements can be delegated to personnel, therefore in your practice at no risk of operational errors, as it is so easy to use, as the name already suggests. You have, in the Kindling Easy, you have also synergetically integrated two biofeedback devices and one hand-to-hand EDS device. All settings and operational parameters selection is automated and thus error-free. Complex systemic functional biofeedback procedures are fully automated, and the device also calibrates itself automatically every 2 minutes. You get also on the display that is integrated in the device a graphic live representation of the therapy process, and no extra computer and software are necessary. Patients are also receiving the most recent and individualized SFB treatment in accordance to the body regulation requirements, and therefore it guarantees the selection of operator-independent, error-free treatment parameters. And at the end of the treatment session, the patients and doctors receive a graphical representation of the SFB therapy results, and this gives the doctors a great opportunity to discuss the results and subsequently establish accurately the necessary therapy in conjunction with their patients. It's efficient, it's fast, it's high accuracy, no risk or side effects, and the healing effects, you will notice them immediately. All of this makes the Kindling Easy a tool for modern naturopathic practices that also helps you cut costs for you and your patient, and as it cuts down significantly on treatment time. With just one button, as I said, the operation, and you have this nice display that shows you live what is going on with a sympathetic and a parasympathetic reaction. The treatment can be performed correctly and independently by any operator, therefore. It has also a very nice feature that is an integrated input beaker in which you can add different body fluids such as urine, blood, saliva, feces, etc., which are then measured by the system and added to the local measurements that are done and performed through the electrodes. And in the integrated output beaker, you can create your own customized homeopathic remedies. Okay, so we've detoxified, we've taken care of the control center of all of our vital organs, the autonomic nervous system, and we've helped the autonomic nervous system to react in the proper way to any condition. What's next? Next, we have to address the pathogenic frequencies. And here we need a really great biofeedback therapy device. And the best known to us on the market today, it's called a MedSelect. And it's a revolutionary intelligent biofeedback therapy device of the 3rd generation that supports the body's self-regulation and self-healing processes. MedSelect therapy approach works on informational, energetical, as well as cellular level. So it's totally and absolutely holistic. Information restructures the energy, and the energy acts on the cellular level through resonance processes. The information is then collected by the electrodes, and the body vibrations are analyzed, filtered in healthy and divided into healthy and pathogenic sequences or frequencies, and they are finally corrected. The corrected frequencies are being applied back to the body in a therapeutic step, using also supportive customized remedies that are prepared at your end during the treatment. It's fully automated, and it offers different therapy strategies to activate the autoregulation, to balance the metabolic processes, and to remove different burdens. It's intelligent, it's user-friendly, and the software is very easy to operate through the touch screen on the display of the device. What are the device's main features? Well, it follows the cellular bipolarity by using dipolar electrodes. It generates the dynamic electromagnetic fields. It has a very user-friendly therapy menu that is presented in the display in an animation mode, so very easy to understand for you and your patient. It has a pre-recorded rich database with toxins, nosodes, sarcodes, homeopathic remedies, and much more. It has over 2,500 pre-recorded vials and homeopathic preparations for treatment, numerous pre-recorded programs for proven and efficient therapy. You can also create your own programs, and you can exchange them with your fellow colleagues, export them and import them onto your system. You can customize your programs for returning patients. You can generate customized remedies in the output beakers, or you can imprint them again on the SI cards so the patient can continue the treatment even when he's not in your practice. It has a step-by-step menu routine that is very easy to manage, and it takes only about 15 minutes per therapy session, and usually you only need about 6 to 8 sessions for most conditions. It's a modern form of bioenergetic and information medicine therapy that works just great, as we will also see from a couple of testimonials. And here is what Dr. Mary Staggs has to say about the MedSelect system. Investigation of many types of energy medicine devices from all over the world eventually brought me to Germany. Biofeedback with MedMatrix and MedSelect, what can I say? Astonishing, breathtaking, awesome. Infant performance, magnificent, impressive, and spectacular. I finished up with 8 VegaMed devices. I would not have gone to that expense without proving that one worked, and then adding opinions of my patients and all the fantastic results. Yes, an incredible journey. MedSelect, a splendid therapeutic machine, direct therapy, no pain, no side effects, little time needed to use, and visual to both the practitioner and the patient. A good tool to transfer frequencies from MedSelect Plus to other products. She uses her own creams, for example, which are based on recipes that are almost 300 years old, and into herbal drops, with recipes that are also over 100 years old. This I was unable to do before in such a professional way and so quickly and non-invasively. Patients are amazed and enthralled when I show them what I am doing, and they are proud to walk out with their SI card plus their herbal drops and creams, which leads us to the next incredible step. If they use the SI card, diet, drops and creams, then we get outstanding results. I love using these tools in my arsenal. They all work so well. There's nothing else out there that comes close to VegaMed, and I can tell you I have looked. But the system is not only backed by testimonials from all over the world from practitioners that use them in their daily practice. There have also been clinical trials performed. For example, this one from 2013 to 2016. The title of the study was Long-Term Analysis of the Concordance between VegaMed Electrodiagnostic and Classical Diagnostic Methods in Current Practice. And the results were published in the Internal Medicine Pediatrics Journal, volume 120. And they were also presented at medicine congresses around Europe. The aim of the study or the trial was to see if the patients can be evaluated correctly and non-invasively using the VegaMed method compared to traditional clinical methods. It was a double-blind study with 437 patients, of which 75 were tested with a VegaCheck and 362 with a Test Expert Plus and VegaCheck. The results were compared with traditional methods like ESR, weight, height, BMI, bone density, etc., etc. And they wanted to find out, plainly put, if you can diagnose somebody properly using those VegaMed devices as just like the MedSelect and the MedMatrix, which work on the same principles as the VegaCheck and the Test Expert Plus mentioned here. So let's see what the conclusions of the study were. And here are the conclusions. In our research, the statistical analysis based on the correlation between primary and secondary diagnostics of the cases and VegaMed devices analyzed was done to find a concordance between those two methods of diagnostic. This showed that for some pathologies and diagnostics, the concordance is 100%, and for other pathologies, mostly chronic, degenerative, the most important is the doctor. They must correlate based on his or her experience. Based on the obtained results, we should view in our medical practice the patient in all dimensions, as we've mentioned also already earlier in this presentation, the body, the emotions and intellect, and to correlate the treatment with the characteristics of the individual at all of these levels. The classical diagnostic methods provide accuracy to the molecular level, but it doesn't correlate in functionality over time. Bioelectrical impedance analysis could be cost-efficient, fast, and non-invasive method associated with the classical diagnosis methods. Further studies are needed to understand an intimate correlation mechanism between classical diagnostic and bioelectrical impedance analysis. So which are the conditions that you can treat with systemic functional biofeedback devices such as the ones that we've talked about? You can treat inflammatory or degenerative conditions. You can balance the body energy. You can regulate the metabolism. You can diagnose latent burdens, vaccine damages or toxin burdens, geopathic stress, allergies and food intolerances. You can diagnose parasites, viruses and bacteria. You can use them for pain therapy as well as remedies and treatment compatibility. And all of the acute and chronic conditions known to man nowadays can be treated really, really well with this kind of technology. So what are the benefits for you in your naturopathic or holistic practice when you use the Kindling Easy, the MedSelect and the MedMatrix system? Well, all of those three devices are exceptional systemic functional biofeedback therapy devices of the third generation. All of them are 100% produced in Germany. All three devices are intuitively and easily operatable. Kindling Easy can also be used as a home therapy device, as we've mentioned already, as it is so easy to operate and you cannot make any mistakes. And you, as a doctor, you will notice that you will get more patient referrals as you are more successful in your treatment. You can increase your practice income as you diagnose and treat in a maximum of 20 to 30 minutes only. You can offer better and more diversified services to your patients, including detoxification services, diagnosis and therapy, of course, support therapy for other treatments, such as detox after chemotherapy, antibiotic therapy, steroids therapy, dentist work, and many, many more. You can also produce your own customized remedies, and the therapies are always delivered at no risk, no side effects, and no worsening effects. Those three devices are unique, they are efficient, they are well accepted in the marketplace, and they offer you an excellent value for your money. And another option that you have with such technology is that you could open your detoxification center and offer detox services, for example, to other doctors, and many, many more. And of course, as always, discuss your needs with us. We love to hear from you. 1-888-773-3196 or shop@lyranara.com. And we will, of course, advise you on what is best for you and your personal needs. And I told you in the beginning of the presentation to stick around as we have a surprise for you. And here it is right now for limited time only. Go our own Sale Now tab on our homepage, lyranara.com, and you will find great discounts for all of these free devices. If you buy them in a bundle, please contact us and you can save even more. And as always, I wish you a very nice day wherever you are, whatever time it is. And if you have questions, comments, you need to discuss your personal needs with us, again, call us up. We love to hear from you. 1-888-773-3196 or shop@lyranara.com. And until next time, stay healthy.